What was that?
I didn't see.
You'll never know. You'll never know what that sound was, but I do, and it's going to haunt my dreams. Right, this week's second Prem Predictor live. We've got another one to go, which is 1st to 5th, but now we reek of mid-table. 6th to 12th. We've already done 13th to 20th. Brighton fans, if you're watching this, it's the wrong video for you. Go back to the other one because you're finishing 20th, apparently. Apologies.
Well, they're not going to get ruined in this video, so maybe this is the video
this is
for
the video
them.
for them. Yeah, more enjoyable experience than probably this one. So we've got Flav here. Fine cock. Yeah. Paul's here from Redmen, and Ped has got to get these guys into the top 5 somehow.
I think that's Ronald Koeman's job.
Yeah,
but you're today.
Play your part.
Okay. Well, they're saying I can just go like that then.
Yeah, but then people are going to pull it away, aren't they? Right. So first of all, before we get to that, because I think all 3 of your teams are at threat of being in this group.
Wait,
is there any team?
What? Seriously?
All 3 goes up to 6.
No, individually, all 3, not as an entire group.
No. We're
not the ball.
No, this is fine. That's fine. Let's get on with the show.
Let's go. Right.
But let's get on with the show.
So just so you know, if it goes to deadlock, that's right, deadlock. Yeah, I wanted X Factor, didn't get it, and here I am. If we all vote and it goes to deadlock, then it goes to the votes. So you guys vote for who you want at that time. It'll be the first person to vote the right team, the available team.
Host over 6 foot, but you know.
Dermot O'Leary. Next. Right. Which team is going to have a boring mid-table, no one's going to notice them season?
West Ham, Southampton.
Ooh,
elaborate.
Leicester.
Elaborate. Why West Ham?
I think that they're overestimating how well they've bought. I think Hernandez is a good finisher, a poacher's forward, if you like, but I don't think he's the player that's going to shoot them anywhere near the top 6.
What about Marko Arnautovic?
Again, there's a lot of flair on
you like him?
in his moment. Look, I love a player who can strike the ball in such a fashion. But
poor man's Kevin Morales.
In terms of his ability, his ability's there, but in terms of his effectiveness, week in, week out, again, he's lovely around this area of the table where you're not playing for anything. Spurs had loads of those players who were great on their day, but ultimately contributed very little. So it's great to have those fair players. It's exciting, but in terms of the effectiveness of the team, I don't think West Ham have bought that well. Hart, error-prone goalkeeper, no one wanted. Ultimately, he had to play for Torino, and even they hated him in the end. So,
so last year they finished 11th. A little relegation worry, wasn't there, at some point? They're now second season in that new stadium, and they've brought in. So they're the 6th worst defence in the Premier League. Yeah. And the players that they brought in are Arnautovic, Chicharito, Joe Hart, and Zabaleta. Is that going to sort out the problem that's there?
But obviously, Font settled in properly as well.
Good point. Good chair.
Haven't come in January. 15 better goals better off, but it's not quite as bad.
Do you think being in that second season in the London Stadium will make life a lot easier?
No, because it's a dump.
It's not a dump.
No, it is a dump.
The exact opposite.
No, it is. It's not.
Goodison Park is a dump.
No, it's not a dump. It's a stadium with lots of heritage. And that's why we're moving to a proper football stadium, which is what that stadium is not. It is not a football stadium, and never will be a football stadium. And
the stigma of that first season is gone now, isn't it? They know
no,
they're
because
there. It's not going to be the main story.
I don't see how that stadium is not going to help them. It's soulless.
It will be better. I've spoken to Nicky from West Ham Fantasy. I haven't experienced it myself last season.
How'd that go?
For him. Went better for me than it went for Nicky, let's all say. Yeah, but you know, by the sounds of it, they haven't done that. That was very much a learned experience the first season. I think they just chucked a load of people into it and hoped it would work. By all accounts, they've allowed people to move around a little bit more. It should be a bit more settled. And exactly, it won't be as it just won't be as fly-by-night as the whole operation was, I think. Even though that being said, I mean, is it still an athletics arena at this
feels like
today?
And everyone's got the shits.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got to come with the mask. No, I think West Ham will be more settled, but won't be good. Yeah. I think they'll be fine. I don't think they'll be in a relegation battle.
So will anyone finish below West Ham?
Well, yeah, those teams there.
Yes, sorry, I should be more clear.
Yeah, I generally think Southampton are not going to have a great season. Van Dijk will go at some point, probably to Liverpool. And for me, I don't really. Who else have they got? That sort of conveyor belt of talent has dried up a little bit for me, and I don't see who will come in and replace them. So I think Southampton might have a dodgy season.
I think all three of those will finish below West Ham.
I think Leicester are going to do okay.
That's, you know what, Palace is a very interesting shout, because Frank de Boer coming in is going to face similar problems to the problems Mark Hughes kind of had at Stoke, and you always see in West Brom have every other season when they get rid of the defend for your life manager and get the play free-flowing football manager, is that it's very difficult, because it's now a league where there's probably 8 or 9 teams who really want to play football, and most of them have been doing it for a little bit longer. You don't go from Sam Allardyce to playing an amazing brand of football in one transfer.
I slightly counter that by, I think Pardew tried to change them too quick. I think Sam Allardyce went back to type, but I think they've got a lot of good players, and I think the Boer, or even the Bear, will be just the right one, like Goldilocks and things.
They've also got
a lot of 1 or 2 de Boer, that's fine.
Yeah, they've got an amazing whip still, even though they lost Balassi.
Zaha's on a 5-year deal.
Zaha, you got Townsend as well, who's a really good footballer. And you got Benteke up front, and I know Benteke had a bad time at Liverpool, but he still remains a top draw forward. Certainly out that mid-table.
They've got pace that can hurt teams.
Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see how they play. In pre-season, they played 3 at the back against us, and they had Townsend as a wing back. Like, maybe he's just like, work for Victor Moses. If you're not good enough to be a winger, be a wing back. I don't think that's Townsend's forte. Maybe definitely not. Change that.
It's definitely not his forte. But he has played. He played left back for you in youth football for Spurs and stuff. So he can do it, but not a good signing for Stoke as well. But I think he should stay at Palace. I think that would be good enough there. Leicester as well. Sorry, you can.
No, carry on.
I think under as soon as Craig Shakespeare took over, apart from when Spurs beat them heavily, Leicester had a great second half of the season. And I know how much you hate Leicester and you hate Craig Shakespeare. And you think he's a fraud.
He's a snake. He's a snake.
Yeah.
The Shakespeare bubble will prove to be much ado about nothing.
Not the writer, the manager.
He's dead.
And then, very good. Actually, that was
wasted.
It was. Iheanacho.
10 years of drama.
Great signing. Iheanacho, great signing. They've still got Vardy, Mahrez that takes out the door, but it's still a good team there.
All right, so let's vote.
Can we just? I think this might come down to quality of manager.
Thinking a lot of Bournemouth here, aren't we?
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. But bring Bournemouth into this, because I think you could make a case for Bournemouth down here as well. But I think look what you've got though. You're talking Pellegrino. I always get them confused. The one who played for us and was terrible. Unknown quantity as a manager, and the Van Dijk thing hanging over the head. We don't know if he spent the money right, etc., etc. Again, new guy coming in there, Crystal Palace, trying to change the brand of football. Shakespeare, I would be amazed if it doesn't all fall apart. You know what I mean? Under him, when he's actually got to do it all from scratch.
So Phil from 100% LCFC, I think he said something like he was hoping for 7th or 8th. Yeah. Is that outrageous?
Was there a small metal pipe burning away just somewhere on screen in the corner?
They did finish the season really well. They did finish the season well once they got rid of. But he made a good point as well. Is it one season too far for some of those players that won the league, the likes of Morgan, the likes of Hoof? Have they replaced them well enough? Even someone like Vardy, is he really going to be up for it this season?
Well, he just did. But all he did was what Roberto Di Matteo did at Chelsea when he took from Villas-Boas, where Villas-Boas tried to do something different, tried to build something, and he just gets to come in and go, right guys, remember that stuff when we had loads of fun doing that stuff last season? Do that again. Play your own game. But there's a difference when you've got
of course. Obviously, but we're not talking about them winning the league though. We were talking about them finishing between 12th and 10th.
You can't overestimate how important drink water is to them as well. And I know people kind of say it's a boring transfer for Chelsea, but for Leicester he's crucial, so it's going to be a tricky one.
Continuity-wise,
can I predict where it might be? I think West Ham will finish 12th. Shall I put them in? Go on. West Ham will finish 12th. Whoa. There is a telly down there.
You had some of Phil's pipe?
Yeah, I think we've got Bournemouth.
The dildos have stripped you up.
No, actually, I think Southampton's 11th, and I'm going to pick Bournemouth, Palace, and Leicester. That's where I've got them.
Okay.
Might be being a little bit.
I'd actually swap. I'd swap West Ham and Palace.
Okay.
Maybe.
I would do that as well,
but I don't really care.
We've not really talked too much about Bournemouth, do we think? Another season at the out continuity. They've got Defoe in there, and how many seasons he'll have left. He defies expectations every year, doesn't he? He scores goals. if Flav's argument, which I've heard all day long about like just keeping the same team and maybe adding a little bit to it with a good manager is enough to compete at this end of the table, you'd expect Bournemouth to maybe have a little bit of a better fist of it.
Do you think there's any part of all of us that goes, go on Bournemouth, go on, just because you're this tiny little club,
I was so far away.
No, I hate everyone.
Oh, you hate it?
I just hate everyone.
I've seen Bournemouth in pre-season 2 weeks ago, and Ake didn't play, Begovic didn't play, Defoe didn't play, and I was sort of watching them, and then I kind of went through the names, and they're all still. They've got really good names.
But the thing is,
without those players,
Begovic,
so I think
Begovic has gone under the radar. That's a great signing, a really, really good signing, a good centre back, and a centre forward who can put the ball in the back of it. That's enough to get you top half. I'd say if West Brom can finish last season with centre halves being their top goal scorer, then I think Bournemouth can easily do it.
I would, The only thing I would swap, I would put Palace 12th, and I'd put West Ham 9th.
I can get behind that.
I hate to say it, but I do think West Ham will finish top half.
So we're going to swap Palace and West Ham?
I don't agree, but I'm not. It's conceivable, so it's fine.
Okay.
I think West Ham signings are going to be good this season, but we'll.
What do the comments
go
say,
next season?
They're saying Palace for 12.
Palace for 12.
Go ahead. Just done it. I'll take all the credit for that because I physically made it happen.
That's true. Right, here we go. 2 spots left. In this video, and then we'll do first to fifth in the next live. So stick around. There'll be another live coming up.
Can I be the first one?
Can I plead your case at least? Whoa.
No. Honestly.
Oh, don't ruin it.
Honestly, that's why I wanted to do it though, because I wanted to do it because I had to do it myself. I got to go like that. You know what I mean? Fell on my own sword. I honestly believe this season is going to be a transitional season for us because we've just lost a goal scorer who can guarantee 25 goals in a season. That is huge for any team in the Premier League, and it's going to take us time to put all those pieces back together. The idea is that we have brought in Rooney, brought in Sandro. We'd like to bring in someone like Giroud or someone like Benteke, a big target man. And the idea is that they all share the goals, which would make us a better team, because this is a team that's won last season 4 away games, and 2 of them were the first 2 away games of the season. So we won 2 away games for the rest of the season, but only finished outside the top 4 by about 9 or 12 points, which isn't 4 away wins, which is, I mean, look at some of the shite in this league. 4 away wins but I just think that this season is just going to be, we play City away, Chelsea away, Tottenham away. There are second, third and fourth. And as that team sort of has to deal with scoring goals is going to be really tough for us in the first few weeks of the season, I think.
Is Rooney going to start? Or is he going to be forced to start?
Well, he's not going to be forced.
Get on that fucking pitch. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's Rooney.
No, I think he's going to play. And certainly at the start, maybe if we do get into the Europa League and there's more games, you might see him just drop in and out. But he'll be forced to play if we don't get that striker we're after. And I just think it's going to be too much of a change this season. And all I'm hoping for is to win a trophy. It's not going to be the Premier League, but if it can be one of the other 3 that we're in, then I'd be happy with that. But I just don't see any change this season,
especially with the depth of your squad now, which is
that's the thing. We've got a better squad, but we haven't got as good a first team.
Do you think?
Without Lukaku. You've got to you take Kane out.
You were going. He doesn't offer anything.
But he scores goals.
But Rooney scores a lot. Has scored a lot of goals. But if you've got,
he's also going to start.
But if you've got all these guys, you've got class. Your midfield's mental now. But you're getting more chances.
Well, hang on.
Then you get more goals.
Fit them all together then.
What, as in pick your team?
Yeah.
Well, we've had that on another video. I've gone, what is this?
And I don't think the manager knows that team, because it's not gelled together. It's not going to gel together. That's how you pick a team. Just do that.
David Brendan.
It's not. You're not. This team isn't going to gel. I don't think till about October, and by then, that could be too late for the top 4 or top 5. And if we're involved in other things as well, I know people might think I'm being defeatist, but everyone above us.
I don't think you're being defeatist, because I think there's having just gone through the teams of the league, I do wonder whether we're being a bit too oh ha, of course Everton will finish 7th.
I think you might. I think you'll be above 7th.
No, that's not what I was going with. I was going the exact opposite. And it's just whether because of the transition, because of the transition,
it is going to take time,
and not having that goal scorer there, it makes a massive difference. Lukaku was the reason why Everton was as close as they were to to where they were in the league ultimately. And I know there was that stat that if you took them out,
that's nonsense.
The same.
I mean, it is real, but it's nonsense.
It's complete bollocks. Like,
the thing is, how when we played like Tottenham away, when we played Liverpool away, when we played Chelsea away, where were we? You know, how even with Lukaku's team, we were miles away from those teams. Okay, if you take the results as a whole, we weren't that far away. But in those big games, we were miles away because we had one tactic a lot of the time, and that was get the ball to Lukaku. He'd put it in the back of the net. And in those away games, teams just stopped that. And the
other thing that you have to consider is no matter how good Everton are, these 6 teams here have the fallout, the magnitude of the failure to finish 7th, and that's not a reflection on Everton, it's just where these teams either finished last year or position themselves to be based on the amount of money they spend. If Man United finished 7th, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, anyone, you're talking about a complete rebuilding programme, losing managers,
and also
backroom staff going.
I do genuinely believe
players being sold.
I do believe there's 3 teams in there that we can finish above though, and they are Tottenham, Liverpool and Arsenal. Tottenham for the Wembley factor, Arsenal because of the Europa League factor, and Liverpool because they were burnt out last season in January, and for me, I don't think you've really strengthened the squad. I think you've strengthened the first team, but I don't think you've strengthened. So those 3 teams we could finish above, but that would mean that we'd have to have we'd have to be on it from day one, and I just don't see that happening.
If Everton didn't have European football, if you went out in the next qualifying rounds, I think that would be a massive benefit to your season in a weird way, because this what Liverpool had last year was we went into the period once the season started and everyone was in Champions League and everyone was in the Europa League and they started dropping domestic points, and that's Liverpool and Chelsea were like first and second for a good spell of that toward the start. I'm not saying Everton could necessarily do that, but I said this in other places, I just think the European football thing is going to take a massive toll on so many of these teams that Everton not having the goals could be amazing.
I want to have the goals,
but not from the start though. I think it will be a grind. I've watched this pre-season. There's no the connective tissues aren't there quite yet. I want European football us to be in, because I actually think that'll help gel the team. So
yes, Paul.
Are we doing 6 on this video?
We are doing 6 on it. So all right, okay, we'll give 7 for 7 to Everton. Seems consensus.
Ped mentioned it. It's entirely on the Wembley factor. You have to be confident that it's going to be fine, because you just literally curl up in the fetal position and cry, because I mentioned to you earlier, I don't think there's evidence to suggest that it's going to be fine at Wembley. Arsenal struggled there in the past. You guys have already struggled there. Now it should be a bit easier for having had the experience of doing it last season, but it's just not.
Sorry, mate. I was just pointing.
It's just not your ground, and I think you're going to have a similar issue to what West Ham have had last year. And I know it's a bespoke football ground, and there is that to it. But you've been to Wembley. You get in. I don't even know. Are they opening the full?
Yeah.
They open the full capacity for it,
and that's where all these teams here have their day out in the season.
All of this is true. There's one thing that's going to dispel this myth a little bit, is that Spurs have been terrible at Wembley. The results have been poor, I get it, but the performances haven't been. Against Monaco, we were the better team. We should have beaten. They scored 2 goals on the break, and we saw what great side they had. Against Chelsea in the final, we lost 4-2, but how we lost that game is beyond me. We're not as bad as people think, and I'm happy for people to think that way, because I'd rather be going into this season with people discounting us at the media, and there's less pressure. No one expects it. But I think if we can get to around 4th, and I think it's within our capability.
Isn't it just the adjustment factor though? That's what I'm saying. That's why I feel like we won't finish higher than 7.
Do you need a week? Are you hopping?
No, my feet hurt.
It's the adjustment factor. Those first 2 months can be critical, and that can offset the whole of your season.
Do you know? I think Liverpool finished 6th, because what you do in the summer is you're going, what are the transfer news? Who's going for this guy? Who's going that for guy? That's why no one's talking about them. That's why it's negative stories. That's why you have a negative feeling about Spurs. Yeah. They were brilliant last year. They've got the best defence in the entire league. Kane has been top goal scorer for how long? Coutinho could go. You could not get Keita, you could not get Van Dijk, and if that happens, you will be finishing 6th at best.
I disagree. But for a start, Coutinho's not going. Putting that out there right now. We're not getting Keita, and we never were, unfortunately, as it transpires. Van Dijk, maybe. I don't think, for a start, I don't think Liverpool's defence is anywhere near as bad as people make out that it is. You know, I think we kept something like 5 clean sheets in the last 6 games of the season. When we needed to defend, we defended. Where Liverpool fell down last season was not, people say, well, you know, you couldn't defend. Fair play. Liverpool play an attacking brand of football. Where Liverpool fell down was the depth in attacking positions. With no Sadio Mane, we literally had nothing like him. Well, we've gone out and we've bought Salah. We've now got a potential where Phil Coutinho's going to be playing deeper. He's back into the position that he prefers.
If he's still there.
We will still be there. And Roberto Firmino, therefore, is able to play centrally, which is his best position as well. He only played 50% of his games in that central position. The rest of them he played from the left and the right. And he still scored 12 goals in that campaign as well. Everything Liverpool do, for the Spurs factor as well, we've kept all the team that we want to keep together as well. Yes, there's the extra game factor. Look, I'll be perfectly honest. I'm not speaking with absolute certainty. I would never put Liverpool higher than 4th, if I'm perfectly honest. But I just think these guys are going to absolutely implode at some point. We'll come on to all this in due course. Spurs have just got all the continuity that they've built up over the last 3 years is about to be thrown out by moving to a completely different stadium. And then you've got the likes of a few of the others around there. I think it's very much in flux 4 to 6.
I think the big problem for Arsenal is, this is a reason they could finish 6th, is they're going to be out the comfort zone. Thursday night football, Sunday football, going to places that, I mean, I don't think Arsenal have too many players who grind out results. They're good football inside. They don't grind out results, and they're going to have to go to places where they're obviously going to be the better team. But the drop from standard from Champions League football grounds and all the rest of it to that Europa League is huge. It is a huge drop.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm guessing, are these the 3 contenders? Are you saying that these 3 are going to be above 6th?
I believe so.
Okay.
There might be a random one for Chelsea
as
an outlier, because similarly not strengthened, and they're going from a season from no European football back to European football. They've got a similar kind of issue to what Liverpool have got at the moment. I don't think they've strengthened as well as we have at this point either.
So, okay, so let's go with these 3. I'm happy to do that. Spurs, who's voting for Spurs as 6th?
Twats.
Okay. Who's going for Arsenal in 6th? Are you serious?
Yeah. Sensational.
That means they're 6th, isn't it? That's a majority.
Yeah. I think Liverpool will finish 6th.
Yeah, but
and I want that on.
But me and Ped are 2, so there they are.
That's
again.
mate.
Do you remember the fallout last time?
Yeah, but
bring on the views.
Title of video, Arsenal.
No, but look, James.
What did the vote say? The vote saying Arsenal. What's the comment saying?
Yeah, they're saying Arsenal.
Saying Arsenal 6th. Arsenal, Liverpool. Damn,
that's free, really. That's free.
I just think you're overlooking the Wenger factor as well, and the fact is that is just a powder keg waiting to go. It's a facade at the moment. Happiness at Arsenal. They're only 1 defeat away from a full season. Like it ramped up throughout last season. It's going to take 1 defeat or an injury to Lacazette.
It's going to take a draw.
Yeah,
I disagree.
Bang.
I think they're going to have a really good year.
If they draw against Leicester, it'll be hell.
They get an extra day to moan this weekend.
You can't run a football club
like
that level of pressure around you. Just can't. They've got a great first 11, a good manager, but a fan base that just will not.
All these people who said once he signs that contract, we'll be quiet and get behind him. Not a chance.
I'm not saying that, but I just think that'd be a lot more solid.
Exactly about China. Shouldn't have gone to China. That's what I heard.
Okay. Right. Well, yeah. Okay. Right, fine. Well, let's make this conversation.
Let's make it clear. Arsenal fans, James has tried on your behalf. This is not James's fault.
He has to live in this city.
This is Arsene Wenger's fault for not walking away at the end of the season.
Well, the thing is, if they had if they had let Wenger go, then there would be unity at the football club.
Yeah, because they'd have Klopp.
Right, let's say for the comments there, let us know your thoughts on the fact that Arsenal are apparently going to finish 6th this season, Everton finishing 7th, and you can see the rest. We've got 1 live show still to come. 1st to 5th, we're going to be crowning the Premier League champions, not literally, in terms of predictions. So come back for that final one. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. Arsenal fans, don't dislike it. I'll do it one. Don't give a shit. And we'll see you in the next video. Great fun. Huh? Or else.